welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Sierra. I'm a married mom of 2 small boys. I guess they're not so small anymore. When I started this channel, I feel like they were small, but now today is Charlie's 5th birthday, so I think I need to start saying I'm a married mom of 2 boys. And I own an indoor playroom here in St. Louis, Missouri. This is the Playroom. I have owned it since July of 2020, which means we're about a year and a half in, and I have lots and lots of stories. So this is my new series where I'm going to share some of those stories with you guys. I get asked so many questions on TikTok, everything from how did you come up with the name? Have you ever had to kick anybody out? Has anybody ever gotten sick? And has anybody ever tried to steal a toy? This is the series where I'm going to answer all those questions in a story time. But today, you read the title. We gonna get a little juicy. Have I ever had to kick anybody out of the playroom? You and I till the end, don't need to pretend. So this is not a drama channel. I am obviously a business owner, so I have to be very careful when I share some of these stories with you guys, but I love you so much that obviously I'm gonna give you guys the details. So this has only ever happened once. And it was quite an ordeal. So let me set up the story for you. I'm here behind my desk and Charlie is playing with, actually you can kind of see it, that huge Among Us fidget right there. And this woman was standing right here. That puts me maybe 20 feet away from her. She's standing there talking to her mother because her and her mom came in with her little boy, and her little boy's actually in earshot too. And she starts talking about some stuff that I don't think is quite appropriate in the playroom. Maybe she's being a little grinchy, saying things that I don't think Santa would approve of, things that I don't think should be said in a public space, especially around the littles. So from behind my desk, I said, "Excuse me, ma'am. Ma'am, I'm so sorry, but my son is actually right next to you, so." Kind of cueing to her that, hey, you're in public. This is not an appropriate conversation. I don't like the language that's being used. And yeah, please stop. I tried to say it as nicely and as professionally as I could, but it turns out she disagreed. She ended up going to the other side of the playroom over by the barn, quite a bit of ways. I could overhear her talking to her mother about me. She told her mother that it was none of my business and that I was eavesdropping. I don't think she was aware that I was the owner and everything in here is my business. Literally my business. Not to mention, she was talking very closely to my son, and that kind of stuff being talked about around my kids, I'm gonna make it my business. And there were other children here, children that didn't belong to her, children that belonged to other parents. So again, I'm gonna make it my business. And I heard her just going on, and she was so upset. And I said, "Ma'am, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to offend you. I just think that we need to be careful about what we say." And she didn't like that. She didn't like that very much. She didn't like that very much at all. She then, in front of her child, my child, and all the other children, start yelling at me from across the playroom. I'm serious, yelling at me. And that's where I draw the line, ladies and gentlemen. Not only do I not let people yell at me, I don't let people yell at me in front of my children. We have to draw a line. And I feel like as business owners, sometimes we get caught up in the customer's always right. We don't want to upset anybody. We get worried about negative reviews on social media platforms. But I still think that our mental health as business owners is extremely important, and you matter. How you feel matters. So if you don't feel safe, if you don't feel like what is happening in your business is something that the other people who are patronizing, patronizing. And if you don't think the other people in your business should have to deal with that either, then you need to stand up for yourself. I have found that very difficult as I enter into this journey of owning a business. I am a people pleaser. I'm a millennial, so I hate when people hate me. And I'm learning to come into my own and stand up for myself. And it was very easy to stand up for myself when my child was in the room watching me get yelled at. So I informed her that her session was now over and that she needed to leave. And she was very angry, grabbed her kid and walked out. And then she asked for a refund immediately. Well, this is maybe where I got a little petty. Her mom is actually the one that paid. So I informed her that I was not going to be handing her the money. I was going to be handing the money to her mother. So she needed to leave the premises immediately. I truly feel bad for the little boy. I never want anybody to feel unwanted in the playroom. Everybody is invited. But unfortunately, with the way that his mom was acting with the other children around, I couldn't stand for it. Nothing makes me more upset than turning a child away. I've had to turn children away because we were at capacity or it was a birthday party, but I've never experienced anything like this. And he seemed okay, but I still felt really bad. I'm hoping that after his mom calmed down, breathed, they were able to do something fun that day because all kids deserve to have fun. I refunded the grandmother. She apologized. I told her it was not really a big deal, and that's it, guys. That is the first time I've ever had to kick somebody out of the playroom, and I hope it's the last. I don't get any joy out of kicking people out. 1, I lost business. 2, the child didn't get to have any fun. And 3, it wasn't very pleasant. I was very shaky the rest of the day. Again, I'm a people pleaser. I don't like confrontation. And I think this would have been a lot better if it just never happened. But it did happen. So you guys now get to hear the story. That's really it though. It ended after that. It was very quick. I was surprised how fast all of this happened. It maybe was like 45 to 60 seconds from me asking her to not talk about those subjects in the playroom. We like to keep the magic alive. I hope you guys like these story times where I share kind of like my day-to-day happenings here in the playroom. If you have any other questions, I'm gonna use those as prompts. So leave those down in the comments below and I'd love to answer more questions. I think the next time should be, has anybody ever stolen a toy? If you liked this video, I'd like it if you give it a thumbs up. And if you loved it, I would love it if you would subscribe. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. And don't forget, wash your hands. Bye, guys.